Hey everybody, welcome to Malice Smack Talk. Tonight we're going to be talking about Superstar Shakeup Fallout, Crockett Cup, and goodbye to Goldust. But hello AEW. Lots of good stuff to chat about. Please join us, obviously join the chat here if you're already on Twitch. Let your friends know that we're about to start up. Share us, like us, all that fun stuff, and we'll get going.
Getting ready to seize your first opportunity to come into the ring and start grandstanding and hot dogging, yeah!
I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long.
When we speak, our voices are heard. We all say, I bring it.
Welcome to Malice Smack Talk. We've consistently kept our name now for over a year, unlike the Viking or the War, whatever it is. Anyways, hey, we are live on Twitch doing our weekly podcast tonight, and we got some great topics to talk about tonight. I'm your host, Masonic Vader. With me always is Mindfreak.
What's up, everybody? Let's have some fun tonight.
Woo! Wow, yeah, got it. And Bearded Master.
I mean, can you really say you have him as always if he really isn't always on?
Oh, and the smack talk begins. Yes, I like it. I like it. In
all fairness, now you bring it down to only to build you up. I gotta say, nice elite shirt, brother. Nice elite shirt.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, and it has
It's new, so I figured, hey, what a better way to debut it than tonight with the cleaner.
Fantastic.
And let's give him props to the fact that it has been now a solid month.
Oh,
he's gone 4 exact shows. Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty then.
Yeah,
well,
we've got him for a while. So, before we get started,
the hottest acquisition this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, AJ Styles on Raw. We got Mindfreak on Smack Talk. There you go, boy.
Can we throw him back?
What's that?
All right, I'm out of here for the night.
Can we send him back faster than Johnny went to Raw?
Oh,
damn. Hey, so thank you very much to Malice Corp for letting us do this cast tonight. They're an awesome site. It's all things nerd. Check them out, Malice Corp. They've got a lot of great casts. Friday night's their main cast. It's 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitch. Sunday night at 9 p.m. right now, Game of Thrones recap show right after the Pacific Coast Time show. And then, of course, you could check out all the other fun stuff, all the back shows for us and everybody else at the website itself. So thank you very much to Malice Corp. Let's roll and let's start talking some wrestling. Start talking about it. So the first thing we want to talk about tonight is the Superstar Shakeup Fallout. Obviously, it was last week. We had some pleasant surprises and some good returns and all that fun stuff. We've gotten 1 week past, and now we've had some more returns and some more shakeups. Let's start with one that we talked about last week. The creative team at WWE apparently has decided to step out and let the B team take over apparently for a couple weeks because they have, and I don't know, I've never seen this before, so you guys could throw in, never seen such a botched entry into the main program as they have been doing with the the Viking Raiders, I think is where they're at now. So they've gone through 2 name changes in 2 weeks. And I don't know if you guys noticed it, but the crowd wasn't too into them this last week. What are your thoughts on this? What do you guys think is what's going on with these guys?
Mindfreak, I'm gonna let you go first. I've already had one rant regarding this, so I will let you go first.
okay. They are messing them up terribly. Like the name War Raiders that they had in NXT was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I thought it was perfect. Leave it alone. They bring them up to the main card, change it to Viking Experience. Why in the world would they do this? This is the stupidest thing that they could have done. And yeah, the fans backlashed as well they should have. This week, They're the Viking Raiders. Okay, a little bit better, but still, you've taken a pretty dominant tag team from NXT, gone through 2 name changes, and as Vader said, the fans just aren't into them right now. And it's probably because, you're shoving 2 different names different weeks. And I think, Vader, you mentioned in the pre-show that their finisher is now called the Viking Experience.
That is correct. Yes, they did do that.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's just flat out the most ridiculous botched thing I've seen in a long time.
So our resident Viking himself, Bearded Master, or at least the beard wise, have anything else to add to this?
You said that, so I didn't even see this part yet, but their finisher is now called the Viking Experience.
Yeah, so I watched it on Monday night, and the first thing that caught me off guard, and if you saw, I tweeted it and everything, or Instagram, whatever it was they now come out as the Viking Raiders, and so I'm like, okay, that's great. And then when they do the finishing move, you hear Michael Cole, because you know how much I love when Michael Cole shoves shit down your throat. Oh, the finishing move, that is called the Viking Experience. And I just went, oh my God, what the F? Here's even a little fun, a more fun idea here too, because I watched NXT earlier and whatnot. I'm not going to spoil anything, but as we all know, NXT is usually filmed 3 to 4 weeks in advance, maybe 2 weeks or something. I'm not quite sure exactly the timing. And sure enough, the tag team came out and you hear the music going. You're like, oh, yeah, this is great. And then you see War Raiders and everyone's all into it. I'm like, oh, this is freaking genius. Yes, good job, guys. Standing ovation. Standing ovation.
So if the finishing move is called Viking Experience, I freaking love it. Like, that's actually a solid freaking name for a finishing move.
It is.
Magic Killer, 3D. Yes, it's a Viking. You're about to go through an experience from the Vikings, and you're going to be finished. It makes sense right there. As far as Viking Raiders go, I don't mind the name. Like, the name sounds better than a Viking Experience. I will give them that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my problem with it. What is a Viking? It is a Norwegian raider. So you are telling me they are now the Raiders? Because that's basically what you're calling them. We're gonna call this vehicle the sedan car. It's the same damn thing, is it not?
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna listen to that chuckling laugh. I'm sorry. Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense as far as they just threw 2 words that thought, oh, this is gonna sound badass. That everyone's gonna be on board for this. Cool, except for those who passed 8th grade English, because you just went through the thesaurus and said Viking. Synonyms popped down and said that one works. Let's go that route. Lazier than Viking Experience, because somebody actually had to think about that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, better sounding than the first one, yes. Makes sense, not at all. Like it's stupid. They need to keep trying. Maybe this is the gimmick. Maybe every week they're going to come out with a new name, and then they're going to have like Viking Conquest next week, and then the week after that it'll be like the Pirate Conquest, and then it'll be the Pirate Raiders, and then it'll be the Pirate Experience.
And then if they go Pirate Experience, just throw them over to SmackDown, have them
and then
with
they're going to be called the Viking Pirates. I mean, it's full circle.
I think
it's round. It's a circle.
Wait. We might get Raider Experience in there. We might. They might do that next week. I mean, the way they're going.
If they go to Fox, or when they go to Fox, it would be smart to put the Viking Raiders on Fox, so that when the Vikings play the Raiders,
you can have them running out.
Because if you don't know, next season, I believe though, because the NFC or the NFC North does play the AFC West. So I believe that would make the matchup the Vikings versus the Raiders. Maybe they've got something going here. I don't know. Foretelling the future. It comes with the Viking knowledge.
The beard. I can't.
The Bearded Experience. That's a name for them. My goodness. The Bearded Raiders. Oh, sign me up. That just made them the name right there. The Bearded Raiders. I'm on board. Could you imagine the merch? The merch they could be selling. Hell, that just became my name. Boom.
But here's the part that kills me. I have never seen such a screw up in the years I've watched wrestling. I've seen horrible gimmicks. I've seen horrible, but they've stuck with it. Let's call the Red Rooster out. Let's call the Barber out. I mean, they've had horrible gimmicks that they stuck to. I have never seen WWE screw up so bad with a name change, and then freaking next week change it to better. But it was like you said, like the first one you actually had to think about. The second one was like, well, why don't we just take Viking and put Raiders with it and give them the Raiders? I mean, that's literally what they did over the week. And it sucks because this is an awesome tag team that you can go back for the next 3 or 4 months of watching NXT and watch some serious tag team matches that they put on. I mean, even the match they had earlier this afternoon on NXT where they were still called the War Raiders, it was still a great and entertaining match. These guys are really good. And the thing I noticed about them is that they had no fan interaction with them. Like they're doing more screaming and yelling at the fans like they're Vikings or something. And you can hear them clearly, and the fans are like, oh, this is garbage. This is like ridiculous. Like what else? They're expecting a name change. In fact, a lot of signs were saying that stuff. So WWE has totally effed up an awesome tag team. And I really feel bad for these guys because I don't know. I mean, I know it's just a name change. In fact, Pete, I think even also Rucker, they were saying it's just a name change. What the hell? But it's the product rollout. It's like, what are you trying to pitch to us? It's like, it almost seems like WWE isn't even trying at this point,
Yeah, I mean, as far as name changes go, I don't mind them. We'll get into one a little bit later. But when they do it the wrong way, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
The Viking Schooners, I mean, just come out and just let them do their thing.
Yeah, and it's a good segue because now we have a couple other things that happen. So this week we have Robert Roode.
You mean Rick Rude?
No, well, that's what I was about to say. Rick Rude incarnate. Yes, this is Rick Rude coming back all of a sudden. The mustache is a little thicker. It doesn't go down as far. I think Ravishing his went down more.
It didn't actually. If you see the post I post, the meme I put out and posted yesterday.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Even their like look in their eye, like their stance was identical. Like all he needs to do is give up the robe and put on the tights. And we have Ravishing Rick Rude out there again. If they really
Ravishing Rick Rude had a robe, remember?
Oh, that is true. He did.
Oh, you fat hog slide, whatever it was.
So
shut your mouth so I can take the robe off and show the ladies what a real man looks like.
They're 3 weeks too late because they could have had him do this name change 3 weeks ago, and he could have just been on stage with DX to receive a Hall of Fame ring.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's funny when we were kind of like talking about this pre-show and stuff. I had mentioned to Mindfreak that when I first heard of Bobby Roode, okay, and this was when he was WCW or excuse me, TNA, excuse me. Probably both. I don't know. I never watched them, but I heard the name. And the first thing that caught my mind was the fact that, wow, is he related to Rick Rude? Could he be his son? I don't know. I didn't watch it, but that was the first thought that came to my mind. And then this week he comes out and it's Robert Rude. And he's got that arrogant attitude like Rick Rude. And like I said, all he needs to do is take his robe off, start swaying his hips, and come out with the music and try to bring Bobby Heenan back too.
Well, what I like is the fact that they did this change after he got rid of Chad Gable, which is fantastic because I was done seeing him teamed up with Pauly Shore. But then he goes and he makes the comment, I lost 185 pounds with Chad Gable going to SmackDown, which was holding me back. And I took it as, you know what, that's kind of the way he said it, how he said it, and when he said it was kind of like a heel way of saying it. Yeah. And I hope that this is leaning towards a heel Robert Roode, because we all know that heel Bobby Roode was fantastic. Whenever Bobby Roode has been a heel, he is great. And if they're going to let him go heel as Robert Roode, it's going to be phenomenal.
By the way, kudos to our producer who put this little thing in the chat. The Raider experience is just a lot of losing and getting rid of your best people. Yeah, aka Oakland or soon to be Las Vegas Raiders, whatever name you want to go with. Mindfreak, throw your stuff in, man. What do you think about Robert Roode?
Oh, I love it. It's kind of, WWE playing that nostalgia factor. The fact that you're not watching is like, hey, it's very old, Rick Rude-esque, DX Rick Rude kind of thing. And I love it. Fantastic. It's a great thing for his character. I'm going to say it, I agree with Marty. Go ahead. Your 2 cents in real quick.
We're no longer going to call it Marty. We're just going to call it the Beard. So for now on, it's going to be like, I agree with the Beard.
I agree with the Beard. Well, after what happened at WrestleMania, you guys were like, well, I have to agree with Mindfreak. Anyway.
Well, it's kind of like Andrade Cien Almas. At some point you have to drop the second part of your name. So instead of Bearded Master, now it's just the Beard.
Next week I'm going to call you the Bearded Experience.
Hey, I am down for that. It will be a wild ride.
Absolutely. Woo! Yeah. All right. So we got Robert Roode that comes out, and I agree. I like the intro. I like the throwback. I want to see him possibly go that direction of a Rick Rude. I really do, because I really think sometimes there's some gimmicks that seem like they're overdoing it, but they're really not. I always thought that Rick Rude was one of the better heels in the 80s and early 90s with the whole, shut your mouth, let me show the women what a real man looks like, and pulling women out of the stands and kiss them. That was all great. That was one of the best heels I remember about the 80s. And I think it'd be nice to have that nostalgia factor when you could play it right. Maybe not totally go full Rude, because obviously you want to kind of have that separation and make it your own character. But man, I'd like to see him get in that direction at least. So from Rude, we had a return. We get, for the last 3-4 weeks, we've had these vignettes of crazy dollhouses and some crazy looking pterodactyl head, whatever the hell it was. Buzzard. Yeah, we didn't know what it was. It was just a freaking head.
I knew it was going to be Bray, just with the creepy darkness, but I wasn't expecting it to be this kind of Bray.
Yeah, Bray.
So first we're going to call back to the 80s and 90s with Rick Rude, and now we're getting called back to the 60s through the 90s with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. All right, then. It's fantastic. Next thing you know, we are now going to be getting an hour's worth of wrestling. NXT will be changing from WWE Network to being broadcast at 10 o'clock in the night on the PBS channel.
Or NBC at 1 o'clock right after Saturday Night Live, and they'll be doing Saturday night main event again.
Oh, that's perfect. That means that Colin Jost can end up just becoming the main commentator.
Yeah, studio right next door.
And then move Braun Strowman over to it and just have him pick on him all night.
So what are my thoughts on the Bray Wyatt? It's interesting. I was perplexed. First of all, I was thrown off by the excessive tight pants. That just, they to loosen that up just a smidge. It was a different Bray, which is good. I agree with Mindfreak. Like I said, we were having this conversation beforehand.
Whoa, that's rare.
I said it. That it's still dark Bray Wyatt, but it's this crazy kind of like
you're misquoting what I said. I was like, I'm glad you agree with me. Thank you. But if you're gonna agree with me, make sure you get the context correctly. I know you're old. It's okay. No, it's you're taking Bray from like the dark Sister Abigail, that dark side kind of Bray, and you're twisting it 180 to where it's going to be the happy, crazy kind of Bray that you have.
Is it?
I think so.
Do we? I mean, we really don't know. We really haven't gotten anything solid yet.
But
I mean, the last month, we've been thinking we're getting this dark, twisted character, and then we get Mr. Rogers.
Firefly Funhouse.
Who knows where this is leading? For all we know, he's still some sadistic jackass or crazy ass bastard that we have no idea about
He's
yet.
doing
you know
it
what
with
I mean?
a smile.
I don't know. Maybe a chainsaw cutting through the old Bray Wyatt. That's a hint.
When he came out, like, I thought, oh, they're giving Bo Dallas a repackaging. And then I'm like, oh, no, that's Bray.
Yeah.
Like, wow. One, I wouldn't give this to Bray. Like, hot damn. Like, the dude, like, toned up. He lost some weight. You know, soon to be daddy life.
I think that's all beard, dude.
Nah, bro, he lost some weight. I think JoJo told him, you need to lose some weight so you can take care of his baby at 3 a.m. So he's changed it up a little bit. But I was like, you know what? I was a fan of the Eater Worlds. I always was. However, I do think that they did need a change for him to a change in character. I think it was a perfect timing with him leaving when he did. However, when I look at the character they've done, I'm interested and I'm going to wait to see what happens. However, when the first initial reaction was, oh, this is a repackaging of Bo Dallas. This is an upgrade. But then when I was like, no, this is Bray Wyatt, I feel like this is a downgrade. I don't know. It's going to see where it goes. If anybody is going to own this character and make it something, it will be Bray Wyatt.
Oh,
if you put anybody else in this character, with the exception of maybe Matt Hardy, and this character becomes a waste of time, it becomes, Yoakum DDS, it becomes it just becomes something weird and just another gimmick that passes by the side. That was
Yankum.
Yankum. But because you get the master of theater that you get with Bray Wyatt. I think he's going to make this character what it is, and I think at the end of the day, it will end up being something memorable. Whether it's a positive or negative, that's going to be seen, but it will definitely be something we're talking about for a while.
Oh yeah, he definitely sold himself. When you watch that, you could totally see he was straight into it. That was the freaky part about it, is how into it he was.
You don't know what I want to see? I want to see him come to the ring every match. I want there to be a coat rack at the announcer's table, and I want him to change his sweater jacket for another jacket before he gets into the ring and wrestle. And he does the entire wardrobe change, just like Mr. Rogers did.
Oh, and he's got to change the shoes though too. He's got.
Hey, he could take off the Vans and he could put on wrestling boots.
Hell yeah, that would be sick, dude. Actually,
I mean, if we got the Olive Garden waiter in there, why can't we have Mr. Rogers in there?
Yeah, no, I concur. And going back to what I was saying, I still think it's a dark side. I'm going to, because I'm the host, so I'm going to say it was a dark side of him that I like. I think it's a twisted dark side. I don't think there's anything happy about it. The doll and everything kind of throws it in there. I'm waiting for him to flip that freaking switch, man. I want to see. I mean, I've been missing Bray Wyatt now because of the simple fact he always brought that sick sadistic, but it was like people were digging it kind of thing. And anytime he flipped over and was doing the backward spider and crap, we need that right now, because we don't have any really sick sadistic people in the WWE right now. They're all
we got Randy Orton.
Well, okay, I think he's not sick. He's just
No,
suspicious.
he's just gonna rip your ear off.
Yeah.
No, so you know what? Here's what I'm interested to see. Obviously, he's got the different characters, and because this is the fun house, there's going to be different characters involved. We're going to see different things pop up, different puppets. I want to see if these puppets are going to mean anything, and I'm going to be interested. Bray is somebody who deserves to have a following, a clan, a stable behind him.
A
Not
family,
because
would you say?
not because he needs that support there, but because he's a character who commands followers, and that's who he is. So I'm interested to see what characters and what wrestlers pop out of the woodworks to be part of this fun house persona and world that he's going to become. Because this isn't going to just be something small. There's going with the lightning fireflies or whatever they called them, the fire.
Yeah.
It was a universe. It was the buzzards. It was a universe that he built, and it's going to be something big. So I'm interested to see all the items that are going to entail this story that he's going to build over the next few months.
Dude, SummerSlam, his manager is going to be Pee Wee Herman.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Oh man. So there's a couple.
It wouldn't be
things.
the first time that he's been there, though.
That's true. Good point. There's a couple more things I saw with the whole Superstar Shakeup Fallout, and it wasn't necessarily. One of them's from a change, and the other one was just the person itself. Bailey has now. I liked Bailey this week. Bailey pretty much got rid of the hugger attitude, wearing the shirt. And has gone to get in your face attitude, and I thought the match with Charlotte was great, and I liked her attitude. I'm hoping that they continue the attitude switch with her a little bit, to where
bunch of dead weight.
Wasn't me this time.
Oh,
I know.
The Padawan has learned well.
That is the second time in a week I've heard him say that.
I didn't like the outcome of the match because I think I'm getting tired of seeing.
Think.
Yeah.
Getting.
Yeah.
No, we know, and we are.
Yes. Yeah. It's ridiculous, man. Oh, ridiculous. So,
here's what's frustrating about that is the fact that she was called out by both Bailey and Becky about being thrown into the picture at all costs, and yet she's still in the picture. It is absolutely asinine that they keep doing this crap. To go back, and I'm glad you were in the shirt. I have fallen off the Bailey train. The whole whatever was back and forth story and feud between friendship and foe between Sasha and Bailey for 6 months was irritating and tiring. It was gruesome to watch. And then the tag teams was like, oh, okay, well, at least we're gonna get this now. Let's get it over with. And I just lost my interest in Bailey as a performer. I really did. Watching her come out last night, she had a fire in her. Yep. She had a little pep in her step. She had I'm here. Don't forget me. I'm still here. I'm still a member of the revolution. I am still part of the 4 horsewomen who started this. Do not forget me. And then she comes in and she gives it. Yeah. She gives it to Charlotte. She gave it to Becky respectfully because she's a champion and gave her a heads up, but she led into Charlotte, and I loved it. And I said, this is why I liked Bailey. This is the Bailey we need, and this is what we got. And then they screwed it over by the end of the show.
Yeah, now, Mindfreak, did you notice that during that whole segment that Becky and Bailey were both busting Charlotte? Normally, Charlotte's good on the comeback. She actually got stymied.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
Stymied, man.
She uses the same lines. She screams at Becky because she can't wait till it's her turn to talk, and she yells out the same asinine comments of, I'm better than you. You don't deserve this. It's the same thing. She says the same
Well,
thing.
let me throw it out. She's quick on the return. How about that? It might be the same. She's quick on it. She got stymied though. She got shut up for a minute. She couldn't even talk. Did you see that, Mindfreak?
Oh yeah, I saw it. And I'm going to go out there and say this to everybody that says that, oh, I hate Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns gets shoved down our throat. No, nobody gets shoved down our throats more than Charlotte.
Oh yeah, and it speaks to the fact that she has 8 championship runs already, and she's only been in the league or in the main show now for 4 years.
I mean, the fact that it's Charlotte Flair and they just moved 3 superstar talents across brands to make things more convenient for Charlotte is just ridiculous. Yeah, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the fact they brought Andrade back to SmackDown Live, which means they got to bring his manager, who's Zelina Vega, which means they got to bring her husband, which is Aleister Black. So now they've separated one of the hottest tag teams because they want to keep Charlotte happy by keeping her beau, Andrade, near her.
I was thinking about that too, man. I mean, Andrade does speak English, but it seems like it's broken or something.
That's not what it is. It's the fact that him and Zelina Vega, they just have a chemistry together that is magnificent.
I've never seen Andrade off screen, so I haven't seen him in interviews or anything like that. I mean, he speaks English, obviously. Does he speak it well, or have you seen an interview with him and stuff?
He's perfectly fine. He's perfectly fine.
Okay, so
it's no different than Lana being with Rusev. Rusev speaks perfect English, but Lana still's with him. Now, the difference between them is Zelina can actually perform, but the two of them are great together. So why break them up? Because here's the thing. Zelina Vega, if she goes off by herself, she gets lost in the shuffle. She's not a talent to where she can go on her own and be there and be top talent. She's never going to be a champion. She's just not that kind of character. So you give her the benefit by making her relevant still. Not that she just because her being with Andrade gives her a purpose, and it's a good one to have. But they don't want to separate her and her husband. So they got to bring Black over too, and that ruins a top tag team, which is fine because, as you know, from the beginning, I've been saying that I don't like the fact I love them together, but at the same time I don't because they're two people who I feel can have individual runs and careers. So they kind of hindered them together by them being a tag team and like, oh well, we're gonna get the two of these great talents that have been dominating on NXT. We're gonna put them together. Well, it's like, well, great. Now we're just all getting a tag team. We're not going to get individual runs with them. Well, now we can.
Yeah, and
so since you brought it up, Vader missed it. But did you catch Aleister's promo last night?
Yes, it was fantastic.
Right, dude. I was like,
you don't know the character, just wait. Like, you know my name, which it was like, oh, okay.
The landing is like, I got you. Your world's going to be condemned, and it just ended. I was just like, yes.
We're going to get the fact that he's no longer with Ricochet, I think we could end up seeing a darker Aleister Black.
Yes.
Because you can't get him to go super dark if he's tag teamed up with Ricochet. You just can't.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. And then here's another thing I thought about, though, after you were talking about that and everything. So we saw Undertaker come back night after WrestleMania, and then he's gone. Now we have
Undertaker.
Yeah. Now we have Aleister Black on SmackDown, and do you think he's now taking the reins? I'm not saying dead man reigns, but I'm just saying that kind of like, he comes out with the freaking lights and the little bit of
I've been saying that for 3 weeks now.
Well,
he has been.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. He's taking it over then. We're moving on because Bearded Master said that 3 weeks ago. Last thing.
I was just saying I agree with you. That's why I made that comment.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's why we move on. KO. KO, dude.
This one coming.
Yeah.
And that's what's awesome about this. The fact that we all saw it coming, but the thing that made it bad or better and awesome was that I don't think anyone saw it coming this soon.
Yeah.
I honestly thought we were going to get like maybe a week or two before Money in the Bank, and then like, oh, here's your opponent. We got this shit a month ahead of time. Like last week, we're talking about how they're like, oh, this is funny, this is going to be awesome. Let's see how long this lasts. It didn't even last a week, and the way it happened was wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And dude, it was great. They had him set up. He did the whole intro, and he's out there doing the freaking commentary, and then just freaking wham, super kick, done. And everybody, dude, it almost reminds me that they should break out that meme again with that girl who was so pissed when the Miz won. They need to put that in there when it happened, because that was exactly how the fan base out there reacted. Like, mother effer, what the hell? That already? So it was awesome to see the turn. Now, here's the downside to this, is that they flipped it early and it was great. Now they have to sustain it until Money in the Bank, if not whenever the heck they try to do it. I just hope it wasn't too early for them.
No.
So we are 4 weeks away from Money in the Bank, which means we are 3 SmackDowns away from Money in the Bank, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means we get a reaction show next week. We get an attack the week after, and then a rebuttal attack, or for you, our interaction and sign whatever contract sign the last week. I think that this
that's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler, guys. Just truth.
It's not a spoiler. What does he call it?
That's what I'm saying.
It's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler, but a prediction.
Prediction.
Something
Like whatever Paul Heyman says. It's not prediction, because it's the same thing. It's whatever he calls it. Either way, I don't think it's that early. I think the nice thing about it is it's going to really help build up Kofi Kingston as a legitimate champion. And it's going to take away a little bit from the goofiness and the joking around, which is great, which is what we love about him. But it's going to give us a different side of him also, which is what people are going to hold on to. And that's what's going to be awesome about this. Go ahead, Mindfreak.
It's reverse. It's not a prediction, but a spoiler.
Oh, that's what it is. Boom.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No. I just looked it up.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So we'll see what happens over the next 3 weeks there, the Money in the Bank. And there you go. That was WWE for the week. We're going to switch now from WWE. But actually, you know what? Let's not totally switch, because I want to give Bearded Master a lot of time on this. But there is one more piece of the WWE that we can at least talk about. It's this week we saw the retirement of from WWE of Dustin Rhodes. Did you guys get a chance to see the video he did with the Goldust character and everything?
No, I didn't see that video yet.
No.
Yeah, he did a video, and I think it might have been Game of Thrones music in the background, where he just put all of his Goldust stuff in a old Western style kind of case and closing it and saying bye. Goldust is officially done. Dustin Rhodes walked out, or was able to go out on his own terms. He's no longer with WWE. And the good thing is AEW's picked up on it, because on their Double or Nothing pay-per-view, their main event's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes, which is freaking awesome.
It's going to be Cody versus Dustin Rhodes.
Cody versus Dustin. There you go. Dusty. Whoever. I don't know if he'll call him Dusty, though. I think he'll stay with Dustin.
He's going with the natural Dustin Rhodes.
Good. Okay.
So
yeah,
it's the natural. It's a natural Dustin Rhodes versus Cody.
Yeah.
The American Nightmare.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Did you see? Is he gonna be doing the red and black paint that I kind of saw? There?
He did post a video, a picture of that, which is gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. A week and a half ago, I went on a little bit of a rant regarding the fact that here we are, a month and a half away from Double or Nothing in Las Vegas for AEW's number 2 event, their second event since the first one's All In, second all time. They have this guy who's essentially running this company, who's supposed to be the mainstay of this organization, and he doesn't even have a match yet. Who are they waiting for? Are they waiting for Marty to jump ship? Are they waiting for someone else to show up that we don't know about yet? What's going on? And then literally like 48 hours later, we get a picture of Dustin Rhodes with his mask and the announcement that we're getting him versus Cody. And this is absolutely amazing. I'm a little sad because we're not going to get the payoff of the R-Truth and Goldust storyline because we never got to see the finale of that, which sucks because I don't think there was anybody who wasn't tied into them. They spent a lot of time building up those two guys together in that program until Goldust got hurt, and people were enjoying it. For the most part, I don't remember seeing many people who were against it. It was entertaining,
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact that we're getting Dustin versus Cody at All In Vegas is going to be amazing. I think they're going to have a great match. The fact they don't have the WWE chains tied to them to hold them down, prevent them what they can do. On the positive side is this is going to be a phenomenal match compared to their Fastlane 2015 match, Goldust versus Stardust. That match didn't even go 9 minutes. And Goldust got the win there, but it wasn't really what we wanted. It was never paid out to be what we needed and we were hoping for. And then obviously Cody left not much later after that. I think this is going to be the match we were expecting and hoping for.
Yeah, and the reason why that match stunk so bad is the fact that Stardust was never something I don't think Cody really bought into. I think it was just something forced onto him, and he just went with it because he's a professional. He does his job. I think maybe a hint of it for a second. And when you had that match, it was a character that he wasn't. It wasn't him. So when you get this match that's going to happen in a month, it's going to be Cody. It's going to be the way he wants to wrestle, his persona, everything about him, not something that was forced onto him. And like you said, had the chains on him. I think it's going to be an incredible match. I will probably be getting that pay-per-view just to see it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I remember this was back in December because it was while I was on my road trip from California to Denver to Texas and back. I remember listening to an interview with Goldust as I was driving through New Mexico to Texas. And they were talking to Goldust and asking. At this point, they were interviewing him as Dustin Runnels, and asking him, would you go to AEW? What would you do? Would you fight? Would you come across Cody? And he said that he was happy for his brother for what he's doing, what he's been able to do, but he stayed away from him for the most part because of the WWE. The biggest wrestling event outside of the WWE that happened, take away Supercard, the biggest one to happen was All In, and Cody was one of the main events of that card because he was fighting Nick Aldis for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship that his father held once, and Dustin couldn't even be at the arena to watch his brother win that match or even fight for the title. And that was because of the WWE. He wasn't even performing there or wrestling, but because of his contract, it basically prohibited him from being there supporting his brother. So he's had to go the last 6 months to a year of supporting his brother from the sidelines in the shadows because he didn't want to upset his company. And that gives a lot of respect to him, the fact that he would do that and respected what they were offering or telling him. But then it's kind of, you've seen it comes to the point he wanted to have that match. They didn't get what they wanted as far as performers go and having that feud together. And he asked him at this point, I think that he was already contemplating leaving and going this direction. He was rehabbing an injury. But we're getting at it. He asked for his release because he's healthy now. And I think that's, comes down to him making something happen for his life and being better off and being able to have that connection with his brother that he wasn't able to have before.
Yeah, I agree. Mindfreak, what are your thoughts on it, man? I like to hear your insight.
So my insight was it's their brothers. They come from a really, they're the sons of Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. What's more there to say about them? Both of them are fantastic in-ring performers. And watching the whole Stardust versus Goldust, it was good. It was great, but the ending just sucked. It was just like, that's it? Like, come on. Like they could have done it way better. So this is a chance for both of them to like the Beard said, have the match they want, to be able to do the match they want with their own moveset, their own skill set, and just put on a fantastic show. And since it's been announced and all that stuff, I'm excited for Double or Nothing, and I can't wait to watch that match because it's going to be great.
It'll be interesting to see what happens afterwards because obviously Dustin's got his years on him. You could definitely see. I mean, one of the things I definitely notice about him when he's on his Instagram or on his Twitter is that you see the pictures of him, and you could definitely see his age is there. The makeup of Goldust does a phenomenal job of hiding that. He has this match. Do you think they probably bring him on as like creative or partially part owner? I mean, because you've already got,
not part
Cody.
owner. He may come on as a creative. I mean, here's the thing: they only have one executive, one producer for the entire organization right now, and that one producer is Billy Gunn. Bringing Goldust on, I think that they have worked with each other. They know each other. That could be a good partnership. For all we know, this could actually end up being, seeing what plays out on social media, YouTube, and how they play this out on BTE. This could end up being, yes, he's getting his match against his brother. This could be very well be his farewell, his swan song, his farewell. He's getting to go out on his own terms. He's leaving. He left the WWE. Now he gets to go have his final match against his brother. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it could be his. I mean, he is older. He's getting up there in age. He's obviously a lot older than Cody, because I mean they are half brothers, so they are a big age difference. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen. Could he stay on and stay in the industry and then help AEW? Absolutely. But as far as in performer, I'm interested to see if this is going to be his last match or if he's going to have a feud and storyline going on with Cody. I mean, if Cody wins, then they do have the history of, well, he beat him at Stardust. He beat me. You beat me as Cody. Let's have that final, rubber match.
Yeah, very true. I want to see him do some stuff. I want him to do something cool. I like seeing the family get thin there, which is awesome because if anything you can know about the Rhodes family, going back to his dad, is, man, they're all about family. And it's really, I mentioned this when they mentioned AEW. I said, dude, that's awesome that Cody Rhodes doing that. He's got his wife involved with it. I mean, I love that about the AEW. And I think that's what's going to make them more successful than other organizations from the past, as far as TNA or even going by as WCW, is because they have that connection with the past and they're trying to make it a family thing, because that's quite frankly how WWE came around. It was all family. It was Vince McMahon buying it from Vincent Kenny, man, buying it from his dad. And then, as you can see, years past, all the kids are involved. I mean, mom was involved. So it's going to be awesome.
If she wasn't, in government, I bet we could see Linda back on TV.
Oh, yeah. As soon as she's done with government, she's back in there.
I can't wait.
She did say she was resigning here soon, too. I heard that.
Hopefully by SummerSlam. No, I was kidding.
We're going to have that match between Stephanie and Linda. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that 20 years now. All right, let's switch page now one more time. We got a big event coming up here pretty soon. I looked through the roster, but because I'm still getting into the outside stuff, I'm gonna defer over to the bearded one. We've got the Crockett Cup coming up, and his main event's gonna have his boy Marty Scroll in there. Go ahead and give us the knowledge, sir. Tell us all about it.
All right. So the Crockett Cup is making its comeback. Its first one in nearly 31 years. Like, there hasn't been a Crockett Cup since '88. So this is awesome that they're bringing this back and they're really getting this going in North Carolina this weekend. There's been a lot of buildup for it for a couple of reasons. One, it's a Crockett Cup. It holds that name. It's been there. It's prominent for when you go back to the territories. This was big, So the fact that Jim Crockett Jr. is putting this all together in memory of his dad and everything it did is, obviously the Crockett Cup is a tag team tournament style championship, or not really a championship, but just cup. It's it's King of the Ring for tag teams, and that's essentially what it is. There've been qualifying matches. There's going to be, it's Ring of Honor, New Japan, other wrestling organizations, NWA. There's tag teams from all across the board have participated in the qualifying matches. There's going to be 8 teams going for the Crockett Cup. First round, Ring of Honor, former Ring of Honor champions, are tag team champions, and personally, I feel like if it wasn't for the Usos, and it's very close to even passing them up. I would say the Briscoes are probably the biggest tag team and best tag team in the world, and I would put them up against God, the Usos, and the Young Bucks. They've topped the Young Bucks multiple times. They're in a feud right now with Guerrillas of Destiny, which is actually heating up pretty damn good. And the Usos are the Usos. You know what I mean? I really wish that the WWE would go to help allow some territory stuff happen, and stuff that was like part of the territories. I feel like they should let them be involved in, because the territories do have history with the WWE. The WWE essentially has a lot of the Southern wrestling. So it would have been awesome if cross promotion with the Usos being in this tournament. That'd be amazing. But we got the Briscoes going up with one of the tag teams from Masonic Vader's heyday in the Rock and Roll Express. Yes.
I was about to ask you, is that the same, or is this
Yes.
that's the same guy?
It is the Hall of Fame tag
my
team.
God, man.
Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, Rock and Roll Express.
I saw Rock and Roll Express on there. I was like, dude, it can't be the same dudes, man. They're like 70 now, aren't they?
Yep, it's them. They are in this with the Briscoes.
Gosh.
Build Enterprises, so Brody King and PCO, who's another 50-year-old dude, but that guy can do shit. I've seen him do stuff, and it was great watching him wrestle, but watching him at Madison Square Garden and Supercard, the stuff this dude was doing, my goodness. Let's put it this way. Crockett Cup this weekend, his next big match is against Matt Taven for the Ring of Honor World Championship. He's a 50-year-old man fighting on a whole new level. It's ridiculous. Versus Kojima and Nagata, just another tag team that's been around for a little while. Flip Gordon, let Flip in, and Bandito, who have. It's actually kind of interesting that the two of them teamed up, because Bandito's been doing his thing. And then Flip Gordon was injured for a little while, and he's been on his run with the Elite and then against Bully Ray. So the fact I really didn't really see Flip Gordon and Bandito together, but they are, and they that's cool. That they do a lot of similar wrestling styles, going against Guerrero Maya Jr. and Stuka Jr. Be interesting match. That's gonna be a high flying, very fast and quick match.
Yeah.
Obviously Bandito, Maya, and Stuka have the Lucha Libre background. Flip Gordon, hell, the dude's called Flip for a reason. The dude is just he's just all over the place. He's like little Mighty Mouse up in that ring. You know what I mean? The War Kings, which has got Crimson and Jax Dane, in this match, two up and comers that have been pretty solid. Jax Dane's been around for a little while, and he's been a pretty solid wrestler, and he's been NWA Ring of Honor. He was in Impact for a while. Hell, he's even got some ties to Ohio Valley Wrestling. So the guy he's a beast. That'll be interesting to see what they got, but there's a wild card battle royal that's going to happen in the beginning of this card. They haven't announced who's in the battle royal. There's going to be multiple tag teams in this battle royal that nobody knows who's even in this card until the day of the event, which is enough to tune into to see what tag teams show up, because that's going to be fantastic. And then that winner of that battle royal will take the 8th seed. So it's going to be some great matches. I think the way, depending on who the wild card winners are, I feel like these cards kind of line up who's going to move on to the second round. But those that I mean, that's what the Crockett Cup's for. There's 11 or there's 7 matches, and just tag team. We talk about tag team wrestling being top notch around the world. Well, here we are. We're going to see some top notch wrestling. I wouldn't be surprised if Gorillas of Destiny don't show up in this tag team. This is the fact that this has New Japan tie-ins. I would be surprised to not see them. I wouldn't even be surprised to see the Young Bucks there, because the fact that the AEW and the guys have all talked about how they're going to allow people to do other things outside of AEW. Well, why wouldn't the Young Bucks join into the Crockett Cup?
Well, how about Enzo and Cass?
And just like Nick Cage references on Friday night, this show has run its course.
Wow. So to all of our viewers that we just had, Masonic Vader just lost them all.
There you go. There's 3 title matches on the card. The first mid-card, there's a mid-card championship match, NWA National Championship versus Willie Mack. If you haven't watched anything from him, then you're missing out. The dude is a beast of Dawn. Like, he's just everywhere, man. Like, he's fantastic in the ring. Impact, the stuff he did there, what he's been doing with NWA since Corgan brought him over. He's entertaining to watch. He really is. And the fact that he's going against Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest Colt Cabana wrestling fan, but I love watching Ring of Honor to listen to Colt Cabana and watch him wrestle and what he does do. This will be an interesting match. I don't think Colt really has a chance, but Colt has been, he's been involved in himself in wrestling more often than he was in the past. And the fact that he just got done with the New Japan Cup, and now we're seeing him fighting Willie Mack for the NWA National Championship, that's kind of interesting. That's cool. He's getting back out there. I think a lot was kind of holding him back and weighing on him with the whole CM Punk crap, which I'll get into that in a little while. So it's cool seeing him back out there in the ring for our championship. The next 2 matches, I am so excited for this. The singles match for the now vacant NWA Women's Championship, who was Jazz, which Jazz has been around for a while. We all know who Jazz is.
Yes, yep.
Unfortunately, this last week she had to relinquish her title for personal reasons that she didn't want to really get into, but has to step away from wrestling for a moment. So whatever that she's got going on, hopefully she gets through it. Because it's never a good thing to see somebody have to give up a title that they've earned so well, especially for reasons unknown. That's personal like that. Obviously it's never a good thing.
Yeah.
So we got
it sucks.
Yeah, so we got Allison Kay, also known as Sienna, who was originally in the match to fight Jazz, and the new entry that was thrown into there yesterday, none other than the great, the wonderful, the amazing Santana Garrett, the woman of titles. Former WoW Women's Champion, Shine Women's Champion. That's right. Former NWA Women's Champion, Santana Garrett. I can't tell you how happy and excited I am that she's in this match. Anybody who knows me, anyone who follows me, anyone who's listened to me talk, rant, and whatever wrestling, Santana Garrett is my absolute favorite female wrestler. Always has been. When she was Brittany on Impact, hell, I go to WoW tapings because of that woman. Because what she does in the ring and on the mic, I don't care what anyone says, it's fantastic. She's an amazing performer. I don't know which direction it's going to go because Santana wasn't originally part of the plan for that story. But we don't know what the outcome originally was. So I'm hoping that if this goes well, this is Santana's first real match back. She's had a few matches since then, but she gave up the WoW Women's Championship as of TV in January. Unfortunately, I saw that happen back in October. But her dad passed away the beginning of the year. She's kind of stepped away from wrestling. Now over the last month or so, she's been really trying to get back into it and get back on pace and track where she was. What better way than going after the title that's vacant that you once held? That's going to be amazing. Now, the story of the year, the match is going to be amazing. We talked about All In back in September, how Cody Rhodes lifting that NWA World's Heavyweight Championship, the title his dad held, was the feel-good moment of the show, which was amazing. That was definitely the moment of the event, but it wasn't the match of the event. The match of the event began to Shinsuke Okada and who did he fight? Oh, that's right. Marty Scurll, the villain. Marty, personally, Marty Scurll is, you're wearing the Elite shirt. I believe he honestly that he is the biggest breakout star of the Bullet Club and the Elite. The guy was really on nobody's radar beforehand. Everyone expected Adam Page to be the breakout star. You can't really call Cody, Kenny, or the Bucks breakout stars because everyone knows who they are. Ever since Marty has taken the reins and he took the spot once they kicked Adam Cole out, he's just been on a full-blown trajectory to the top. And he's had great matches. He was part of the Bullet Club, part of the Elite, had the match of the night against Okada, who is one of the greatest wrestlers in the world, and now, again, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Had an amazing match a few weeks later at Fighting Unleashed against Will Ospreay, who's an amazing talent also. Had a great outing in a triple threat ladder match for the Ring of Honor Championship with Matt Taven and Jay Lethal at Supercard. The fact that he's fighting Nick Aldis for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, a title that Nick Aldis has earned, carried, and represented at the highest level, is amazing. Marty Scurll absolutely deserves this opportunity, and what makes this better is they're lifelong. They've been friends since they were 16 years old. Like, they used to wrestle in, we talk about wrestlers here who have grown up wrestling in the gymnasiums and stuff like that. Scurll and Aldis did the same thing in London. That's where they started. Their background is, so this has a history to the story behind this match. So what better way to have a main event at the Crockett Cup, which is an historic name and show, an event that have a story with history between two wrestlers fighting for a historic title at a historic card. It just doesn't get any better than that. If you weren't bought into this match or didn't know much about it, look into it. Watch the feud between Aldis. It's not even a feud. It's just watch the back and forth and the promos cut between Aldis and Scurll, to the point where Aldis is basically making promos that he's Marty Scurll's father and he has to come to him for advice to move forward. That's just Aldis as held himself at such a high premier level that this match is going to be nothing less than extraordinary. Something definitely to look into.
Well, I mean, and kudos for the simple fact that they did bring the Crockett Cup back because, Crockett, man, has been a legendary promoter. He's been through every major promotion. I remember seeing him in the WWE rolling around with his WWF rolling around with his tennis racket and everything. It was awesome. The guy is like I said, legendary. He should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I don't think he's in there yet, and I think it's more of a personal thing versus anything feud. And it's nice to see that they brought it back because I do remember back in the days getting my Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine and seeing the Crockett Cup in there, and it's awesome to see it's coming back. When I saw what was going on and saw the roster, I was like, oh man, Marty Scurll's going to be there, and Bearded Master talks highly of him all the time. And I've seen Santana Garrett even through NXT and everything. I agree. She's phenomenal in the ring. I think it's one of those things that WWE missed out on. I mean, I know she still makes appearances here and there in NXT, but they can really make her
definitely gypped her in her last match against Dakota Kai. Where's Dakota Kai at now? Oh, that's right. Not doing anything.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so that's coming up here this weekend. So kudos to the bearded one for giving us the insight on there. We've got some stuff happening outside of WWE in the next month that's going to be awesome. Definitely I'm going to keep my eyes out for it. I am definitely going to be checking out the AEW pay-per-view in the month. I want to see that happening. But that's our show, guys. I think we've ran everything through the ground tonight. What do you guys think?
I think that CM Punk trying to make a comeback and he sucks. But other than that, we're good.
Wait. Hold on a second. He said he would never come back in the ring. What's up with the mask, dude?
So apparently, from some other reports that I've been reading also and what I've been told and heard, so I looked into it myself, apparently Punk's been making appearances for years now as a masked character, just pops up here and there and nobody's known about it. So, I don't know. The douchebag needs to go away and never come back.
Well, bring AJ Lee. Bring her along.
Bring her along. And then leave her, drop her off at the prom and go home.
You know what, though? And I get you. I understand why people have negatives about CM Punk. However, you do have to admit, in his time with WWE, he had the universe. And he was one of the top guys during that. It's unfortunate that he went the path that he did and everything, because he could have potentially been one of the better, if not possible, legendary people to go in the Hall of Fame eventually at one point if he kept with it and everything. But yeah, it's crazy. I saw that video. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, you're struggling, man. Apparently MMA is not the thing anymore.
Did you see his GTS that he apparently did? Like, that GTS was the weakest and worst GTS I've ever seen. Like,
yeah, I saw it. It was terrible.
I mean,
it was bad.
He's slightly ring rusty.
I mean, even Hideo Itami is sitting at home like, dude, you're better than that. Like, don't sully my name and my move,
right?
Like that crap.
Hideo Itami's gonna fly back over here just to whoop his ass. Oh man. Well, Malice Corp, thank you so much for letting us do this cast again tonight. Thanks for everyone who showed up in the chat. Welcome NWH4. I appreciate you jumping in at the last here. We really want to see you here next time, though, next week, and please participate. Get in this chat room and tell us your thoughts and feelings of everything we were talking about tonight. Mindfreak, where can our fans follow you at, sir?
Other than over my shoulder at Twitter at MindfreakMLG, you can also follow me right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/BTBMindfreak. Bunch of different streaming games and all that kind of stuff. Got a great season for games coming out here over the next couple months. So be on the lookout for some of those.
Yes, sir. Much appreciated on that. Bearded Master, where can we follow you, sir, other than what's over my shoulder?
You can please not look over my shoulder. Just come to a Bearded Master on both Instagram and Twitter and hit me up there. A lot of stuff going on there. Wrestling, the mainstay of that. We also talk in pop culture, MCU, Marvel, especially Endgame coming out this week. If you have
wait, what's coming out this week?
Endgame, Avengers Endgame, man. Like, the biggest movie of the year. I don't care what anyone says. It's the biggest movie of the year. It will be at the end of the year. It'll surpass everything else coming out this year. Even Star Wars Episode 9.
I think it already surpassed everything anyways. 120 million before the damn thing even opened.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like I said, a Bearded Master, Twitter, Instagram. And for me, just like Mindfreak shirt, the Elite Kenny Omega. Good day and good night.
Yeah, and you can follow me at Masonic Vader, Masonic Vader 71 on PlayStation Network. It's been a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us here at Malice Smack Talk. We will see you next week, Wednesday night, 10-ish. 10-ish, maybe 10:30-ish. We'll try to get it down for you East Coast peeps. We appreciate you checking us out. And if you have been watching our show, we got a surprise for you guys. We always end our show a certain way, so if you wouldn't mind, we end it with the 1, 2, 3. Ooh, it's a real bell, and he needs to practice more on it. But yeah,
sounded as ancient as the Crockett Cup.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful night.
The Cobra Sparks is back in.